Nation News Now Storm Tracker weather. Coverage you can count on.
Really smoky out there. What you're seeing behind me is a live look at the skies over Tehama County.
Chief Meteorologist Jason Stiff is joining us now. Jason, how long do you think this poor air quality will be lasting?
Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to change any time in the foreseeable future, pun not intended, but we just have so much smoke outside and we don't have a lot of wind in the forecast. So although we wouldn't want a lot of strong wind when we have high fire danger, a little bit more of a breeze would certainly come in handy when we have air quality like what you see behind me right now. Looking outside on our bloomer cam, as you can see, it's just nothing but that tan orange sky, appropriate enough as October is arriving, but we would like to see some blue sky. It's just not in the forecast for many parts of Northern California, at least in the short term. And despite all that smoke, again, look at this. Chico, 100 degrees. Our average high this time of year is in the mid-80s, but not today. The wind out of the west-northwest at 12 miles an hour. Also smoky, hazy, 100-degree current temperature for Redding with the wind out of the west at 7 miles an hour. Red Bluff, still plenty of haze and smoke in the air. 101 right now with a lot of bright sun above that smoke, but it's having a difficult time getting down to the ground. And for Oroville, 97 hot degrees, the wind 6 miles an hour out of the west-northwest. So your fire danger, not a surprise, is still in the moderate to high category. Thankfully, we don't have a lot of wind in the forecast, but the temperatures tomorrow will be at least as hot as they were today, if not a little bit hotter, between 93 and 103 degrees. And just like it is right now, that humidity, mainly between 10 and 25%. Some places has been under 10% today, so extremely dry outside. If you want to escape it, you can go to Eureka. Currently 63 degrees. That looks awfully comfortable right now. 82 degrees in Weaverville, 87 in Hayfork with a lot of smoke in the air. It'd be in the 90s if it wasn't for that, but lots of triple digits up and down the Central Valley, even in the mountains to the east. 80s and 90s for current temperatures. Most of the wind less than 10 miles an hour, slightly stronger in Chico as well as in Eureka, but everybody else has very little wind and very little moisture in the air. Most places between 10 and 20%. A few stragglers, but for the most part, we just have a lot of dry, clear air above all the smoke. And looking at our satellite and radar composite, there's nothing on the radar, and we don't even have any significant cloud cover overhead. We have some marine layer clouds pushing closer to the coast, but nothing for the interior valley, the foothills, the mountains away from the coast. It's going to be nothing but clear sky above all the smoke, and with no strong wind in our forecast, there's really no mechanism to blow that smoke out of the way, at least disperse it a little bit so we can have a little bit clearer air. We're still going to have unhealthy to locally very unhealthy, possibly even hazardous smoke air quality levels around much of our area. So keep that in mind. If you want to do some outdoor activities, you may want to limit it because the air quality will not improve significantly, at least in the short term. So for tomorrow, for the northern mountains, if it wasn't for the smoke, we'd be having highs in the 90s. There's going to be mainly 80s for highs tomorrow, with still plenty of smoke from the Zog Fire and the August Complex. For the Sierras, we're also going to have plenty of 80s and 90s for highs tomorrow. Lots of very smoky air, but not a lot of wind. For the Ridge, upper 80s, lower to mid 90s for the first day of October. That is pretty amazing in and of itself. For the valley tonight, we'll have lots of haze and smoke, lows in the lower 60s, highs just as hot tomorrow as they were today. 102 to 103 degrees. The Chico area will have mostly 60s for overnight lows, not cooling down very much around Paradise. We're going to stay in the 70s, so it's going to be very mild there. Highs tomorrow, just like today, upper 90s. Lower triple digits for the first day of October. Next 7 days, which are the first 7 days of October, we're going to have a gradual cooling trend, but by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, expecting mid to upper 80s. That looks fantastic, but no good chance for any wet weather. And for Redding, more triple digits tomorrow and Friday. 90s after that through Tuesday. Increasing clouds on Wednesday, but again, we'll have to wait until at least 10 days into October for a slight chance for any rain.
Grateful for a little bit of a cool down at least.